are done. I'm gonna show you how to make the keto cinnamon muffins. Now this can also be made in a loaf form. You would just, obviously instead of putting it in 12 muffin tins, it should be enough for one regular size loaf pan. You will have to cook it a little bit longer. I normally cook the muffins for about 20-25 minutes, but for the loaf you would want to cook it longer, so I would cook it closer to 30-35 minutes. But definitely begin checking it around 25 minutes since everybody's ovens vary. To get started, we're gonna gather our dry ingredients first. To start, we're gonna start with 2/3 a cup of almond flour. I use the blanched almond flour. It's by Nature's Eats. I get it at Walmart, and one bag will last us quite a while. And actually the last time I got it, it had a $1 coupon on it, which was really good considering they're normally about $11 for a 2-pound bag. 2/3 a cup of this into, so we're gonna add 1/3 of a cup. I use Arrowhead Mills coconut flour. I believe I also got this at Walmart. It was a pound. I don't know how much I spent on this, but I know I got it right next to the almond flour. And the same is all in the baking section. Any brand will work though. Next, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum. Xanthan gum, you only need the littlest bit of it. It actually goes quite a long ways. I got this on Amazon. I've had so much trouble finding it in stores unless I got the Bob's Red Mills, or I'm not sure what exactly, but it's Bob's something. And for like a quarter of this size, they wanted like $30 for it. And I found this on Amazon for like $11. I'll link it in the description below. So if you want to get a good deal, this is one of the better deals. So we're gonna do a 1/2 teaspoon of this. Next, we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, for all my cooking and everything with keto, I use the pink Himalayan salt. You can use this kind of salt, you can use sea salt, you can use table salt, it doesn't matter. I just personally prefer the pink Himalayan salt. And we're gonna add 1/2 cup of powdered swerd. This is erythritol and natural flavors. It is my favorite sweetener for keto. I only get the confectioners or powdered or icing or however you want to phrase it. I've tried their granulated sweetener and I found that it did not mix well at all. And the powdered I can actually use less and it gets me a lot farther. You can get this on Amazon, you can get it at Publix. I think Whole Foods has it, I know Sprouts carries it. You can find this just about anywhere. We're gonna add 1/2 cup of this. I'm actually gonna probably add a little less than 1/2 cup just because it does go a long ways with the sweetener. You can use any powdered sweetener, you can use any granulated sweetener. I just prefer to use Swirl. Next, we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Now we're gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm using the Trader Joe's ground cinnamon, but like the sweeteners and the baking powder, it doesn't matter what kind you use. We got everything added. We're just gonna take a spatula and just combine. We're ready to start with our wet ingredients. First, what we're gonna do is we are going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. And we're going to get the wet ingredients together. I like to use a measuring cup like this for the wet ingredients. We're gonna start with melting 1 stick of butter, which is 1/2 cup. And we're gonna wanna melt it completely. We're just gonna put this in the microwave. We'll microwave it for about 20 seconds and mix it up a little bit, and then microwave it for another about 10-20 seconds to get it completely melted. So our butter is now melted, and now we're going to add 7 eggs. It seems excessive, but since we are lacking other ingredients that normally would make a bread, we have to make it a little more moist. Just scrape all the excess batter off. next what we want to do is we want to take our half a cup measuring cup, and you want to take just a small bowl and measure out half cup or so of the batter and put it in a separate container. So now we have our other batter here, and we have half a cup saved separately. We're going to line our cupcake tin with 12 liners. You can line your loaf pan with a baking spray, an olive oil spray, whatever you use, and that'll be fine as well. Okay, so once you are done that, it's going to look something like this. Now you're ready to prepare the mix into the pan. I personally like to use these little scoopers, since when you squeeze it, it actually will help scoop out the rest of the batter, and it makes it a lot easier. With this amount of mix, I can usually get 1.5 scoops in each liner. Okay, so all of that is just about full. Now that we have our liners filled, we're going to take our mixture and we're actually going to add a little bit of cinnamon. I just sprinkle a little bit on top, probably half a tablespoon worth. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more swerve on top of that as well. Just a tablespoon worth, I would say. You can do less, you can do a little bit more based on your personal preference. And so I'll do about that. And then just mix it up. So just mix it up until everything is blended well. It'll go a little bit of a darker shade because of the cinnamon, and that is okay. Now we are actually going to take it by the tablespoon and just drop a spoonful of this batter on each of the liners. So once you are done that, you want to take a toothpick and just mix it up, make it a little swirly, do as much or as little as you want. Just do enough until it is thoroughly blended all together. Okay, now that everything is lined up and everything, you are ready to put them in the oven. We're gonna start them at 20 minutes and we will check them after that. They'll probably cook closer to 25 minutes, but I don't want to risk burning them or overcooking them. I like them really moist and a little tiny bit underdone, my personal preference. And we'll check back when they're ready to come out of the oven. The oven is beeping. We're going to do the toothpick test, see if they are done, but they are looking good. Oh, was I burned myself? Toothpick looks good. I will say these are done. So here you have it. 12 delicious looking keto cinnamon swirl muffins.